Last Friday in Crans-Montana, in the last World Cup, I completely ruptured my ACL. I also have bone bruising, which is a common injury when you tear your ACL, plus meniscal damage, which we're not sure if that was pre-existing or from the crash. But we have been doing extensive therapy, been consulting with doctors, been in the gym, and today I went skiing. And considering how my knee feels, it feels stable, I feel strong. My knee is not swollen, and with the help of a knee brace, I am confident that I can compete on Sunday. That's where I am. Questions?
Yeah.
Hi. Nope, when I was 16 I didn't, or 17. I came in totally healthy.
18?
17, 2002. My first ones.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not the year.
I guess my question is, does this feel like a normal prep period for you because of this? Seems to be common.
Unfortunately, in my career, I've had a lot of challenges. I have always pushed the limits, and in downhill, it's a very dangerous sport, and anything can happen. And because I push the limits, I crash. And I've been injured more times than I would like to admit to myself even, but those are the cards that I've been dealt in my life, and I'm going to play my cards the best that I can. No, life's not perfect. Nothing is perfect in life, and that's just where I seem to always be. But as many times as I crash, I've always gotten back up. As many times as I've failed, I've always won. So thankfully, actually, all of my experience in my life has given me a lot of confidence in knowing what my body can and cannot do. I've been in this position before. I know how to handle it. I've been on the world stage before. I know how to handle that. So everything together, even though I don't want to be in this position, I know how to be in this position, and I can handle it. I'm leaning on everyone on my team. My physical therapists, my doctors, my coaches, my trainer, everyone is working as hard as they can to get me to a place where I feel confident and I'm prepared to just give my best. And of course, what I did today on the hill is not necessarily a great test. I still need to do the downhill training run. But I also know what my knee has felt like with previous injuries in the gym and what it's felt like during all the physical tests, and I can say that I feel a lot better right now than I have in the past. I feel a lot better right now than I did in 2019 for the last World Championships. And I still got a medal there with no LCL and 3 tibial plateau fractures. So, like I said, this is not an unknown for me. I've done this before. I wish I wasn't in this position, but this is where I am, and I will do the best I can. And of course, like you said, I need all my coaches, and Axel is someone that I've leaned on throughout the season, and he knows the position that I'm in as well. So I think that'll definitely help me and give me confidence when I'm standing in the starting gate.
We're just going to use the microphone, please. So,
Hi, Lindsey.
Yeah, you can go.
Cara Banks, NBC. I'm sorry to hear this news, as I'm sure as everyone. Given the latest developments, which races do you still plan to compete in? Is that schedule unchanged? And what's your plan for the training for downhill, given there's 3 days to choose from?
I don't know yet. I have to take it day by day. My goal is obviously right now the downhill. I have to see how it feels. If it's stable and I feel confident, I'll continue to race. That is my goal, obviously. But I can't tell you that answer until I actually ski 85 miles an hour, and then I'll tell you.
Hi, Lindsey. Savannah Sellers with NBC. You've spoken in the past about your fear of regret, like when you came back to the sport initially. How much of that feeling, that fear, drives this right now, the opportunity right in front of you to ski here in Cortina, and to regret missing that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a week away from something that, well, first of all, I never thought was possible. So this is all icing on the cake. I never expected to be here. I felt like this was an amazing opportunity to close out my career in a way that I wanted to. Hasn't gone exactly the way I wanted to, but I don't want to have any regrets. You know, I'm here. I'm still here. I think I'm still able to fight. I think I'm still able to try, and I will try as long as I have the ability to. I will not go home regretting not trying. I will do everything in my power to be in that starting gate.
Can you pass it to him? Thank you.
Hi, Lindsey. Alessandro, here. Here.
He's right there.
Oh, sorry. Jesus.
If you had to put a number, like if you were 100% before the injury, from a scale to 0 to 100, how would you rate your fitness at the moment?
I mean, my fitness is 100%, but that doesn't mean that my body is 100%. I can't give you a percentage of that. I mean, I'm still strong. You know, it's only been a few days, so if you're looking at scientifically, you don't lose strength that quickly. So as long as my swelling is down and my muscles are firing, my strength is what it was a few days ago.
Lindsey, Amanda from Swedish newspaper Aftonbladet. How was it for you when you got the results about the ACL? And are you in any pain? Will you be skiing on painkillers or shots? Or
nope, I'm not in pain. It was painful initially after the crash, and which is why I had concern, which is why I went via helicopter to the hospital. I had a feeling it was bad, but I held out hope until I saw the MRI in front of me. But I haven't cried. I have not deviated from my plan. I've been determined, and you know, normally in the past, there's always a moment where you break down and you realize the severity and of things, and that your dreams are slipping through your fingers, but I didn't have that this time. I'm not letting this slip through my fingers. I'm going to do it. End of story. So I'm not letting myself go down that path. I'm not crying. My head is high. I'm standing tall. And I'm going to do my best. And whatever the result is, that's what it is. But you can never say I didn't try.
Lindsey, over there. Thanks. Sienna Hamilton, CBC. In a recent, media piece, you did the Players Tribune. You said that you're still a girl from Minnesota that loves to ski. And I think there's nothing that that showcases that than skiing off, of course. When you think about representing your country, especially your state, what does it mean right now, with everything going on in Minnesota, to be the embodiment of the word hope?
I mean, I have family and friends in Minnesota. It's where I grew up, and my heart is incredibly heavy for everyone at home. And I realize the magnitude of the position that I'm in right now. And I think the best thing I can do is to do exactly what I said: stand tall and have hope and show the world what America is, who we are as people, because we're more than what's happening right now. We are so much more than that. And the best thing the best thing I can do is represent us well. And it is a privilege to be here. I don't take that lightly, and I always do my best to make our country proud, and I hope I can do that in these games.
Hi, Lindsey, Swedish television. Can you describe the feeling of going up there today? Were you anxious, nervous, or just excited to be able to actually try it again?
I mean, every time I get to go on the mountain, I'm excited. And today was, I was full of hope and excitement, and I was happy that I was in the position to even try, you know. And I was even happier when I was finished because it felt really good. And my team is smiling. We're all very hopeful and all very optimistic.
Thank you. Hi, Lindsey. I'm really sorry to hear what happened to you, but you're still smiling. How do you keep your confidence up?
You know, this isn't my first rodeo. It's hard for me to lose faith in myself and what I know I'm capable of. I know my body very well, so I have a high degree of confidence in myself, and it doesn't matter to me if everyone thinks that, you know, maybe I can't do this with no ACL, but I still believe in myself, and that makes me smile. That makes me confident. That makes me happy. And no matter what, I'm going to try my best. So what is there to be sad about? I'm still able to be here. I'm still skiing. I'm still living the dream at 41. And that makes me happy that I have that chance.
Lindsey, Lauren Tomazi from 9 Australia. Your comeback, your Olympic comeback, and this never say die attitude, what message do you want that to send to young children, young skiers around the world?
I mean, I think overall in this whole journey, you know, this whole comeback has really just been about always believing in yourself. It doesn't matter how old or how young you are. If you believe and you work hard, anything is possible. And I think a lot of times people's minds are closed and they don't see what's possible because they don't look. And I've always had my head up and my eyes open and my heart open for any opportunity that lies in front of me. And I hope that everyone realizes that they can do it too. You know, maybe they should have an ACL. But I think that, you know, through hard work and determination and hope and self-confidence, belief, there's nothing standing in your way.
Hi, Lindsey. Ben from TNT Sports, Warner Brothers Discovery. This has the makings of one of the most extraordinary chapters ever. Where would it rank in your career if you do manage to make it to the start gate and maybe the finish line as well with a medal?
Well, I will make it to the starting gate, but it's already been one of the best chapters of my life so far. I think this would be the best comeback I've done so far. Definitely the most dramatic, that's for sure. But I think if you look at everything I've been through in my life, in my skiing career, in my life in general, you know, I've been through a lot, and this is another amazing chapter. I don't know if it's the best chapter, but it's a pretty damn good comeback if I can pull it off.
Hi, Lindsey. Andrew Danf, Associated Press. Good to see you again. I saw that you visited your old coach. I don't know if it was yesterday or you posted that yesterday. I just wanted to talk about the emotions of that. And then I just wanted to also ask, do you think maybe eventually you might want titanium in your left knee as well?
Yeah, I definitely will. But I think that's still a few years away. First I have to fix my ACL, and then I can do the partial knee replacement on my left knee. But yeah, I went to see Eric on my way here. He is just outside of Innsbruck, and yeah, I didn't cry for myself, but that's the only time I've cried, and I miss him, and I know exactly what he would say to me right now, and it definitely gives me additional hope, and knowing that I know that he would support me, my mom would support me, my grandparents would support me. Unfortunately, I have a lot of people upstairs that are looking out for me, and I need all the help that I can get right now, so I think he's with me, and so is my family.
Hi, I'm Jennifer with the Associated Press.
right next to us. Jesus. Just a non-ACL question, but I'm a climate reporter. You've spoken out about climate change, the future of winter sports. I'm just wondering if you could say anything about what you're thinking about that, or what message you would want to give to people who, are thinking about climate action and those topics as these games are unfolding.
Yeah, I think Progressive the Olympics has been very active in trying to combat climate change and how big of a footprint we have through the games. But, as a ski racer, I've seen that firsthand, what global warming has done. I've been skiing on glaciers since I was 9 years old, and most of the glaciers that I used to ski on are pretty much gone. So that's very real, and it's very apparent to us. And but I think, like I said, the Olympics has done a really good job to try to combat that, and I encourage everyone to do whatever they can in their own small way.
Lindsey here, right here. John Henderson, Colorado Public Radio. How has your perspective on fear changed since you were younger and before your first crash?
I've never been afraid. I don't know. I've always been the adventurer. I've always been the kid that climbs the tree, and I always do what, like, my grandpa always called me a daredevil. It's always who I've been. I've never been afraid of much in my life, and that's why I'm a downhiller. I like risk. I like going fast. I like pushing myself to the limit. I love being on the mountain. It's an amazing feeling, and one that I know I will never have again because I've been retired, and I know that I'm lucky that I even get this chance one more time. And every time I stand in the starting gate, I realize that I'm lucky to be able to do something I love so much, and I don't take that for granted. So fear has not really been an equation for me in my life.
Well, you said you'd know exactly what Eric would say to you. What would he say to you?
He would say, it's only 90 seconds. What's 90 seconds in a lifetime? It's nothing. You can do it. That's what he said to me before my last run in Ore, and I know that's what he would say to me again today.
Sound advice. And secondly, can you explain to those of us who don't understand what it's like to ski without an ACL, what the difference in your skiing will be pre and post this injury, and how that impacts you?
Well, I've only done it once, and that was on my right knee before the 2014 Olympics. I didn't know that it was fully torn at the time, and I raced on it several times. The biggest issue that I'm concerned about and that I'm looking for is instability in the joint. Your ACL is really what keeps your knee in place. Without that, there can be shifting. Your bones kind of shift over each other. It's not a great feeling. So far, I haven't had that feeling. And that's why I'm wearing a brace, just to keep it as stable as possible, prevent any further damage. Not that it really matters, because my meniscus is not great anyways. But yeah, that's kind of my biggest concern. But as long as I can keep it stable, as long as I have the brace on, as long as I have no swelling and my muscles are activating appropriately, I should be okay. But I can't guarantee what it's going to feel like once, I get into some of the big turns, and that's what we'll have to see after the first training run.
Lindsey, Jette Toftaker, NRK, Norwegian Broadcasting Company. We just had news that another great skier, Alexander Aamodt Kilde, is not making it after his comeback, and he's quitting now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He's retiring?
He's retiring. For the season.
Oh,
for the season.
geez,
Yeah.
you scared me there.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. There we go.
He's not making the Olympics.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts to him?
I mean, his injuries were extensive, and I was really impressed with the way he came back this year. And, sometimes these injuries take longer than others to come back from. And I really have a lot of respect for him for pushing himself and working as hard as he has and trying to come back for these games. But, he's still young. I know that he's one of the strongest and hardest working athletes on tour. So if he's coming back next year, then he knows he can do something, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
Lindsey, one follow-up for you. I know you... right here. Sorry, Savannah from NBC. I know you touched on taking it day by day, especially in training. Just to clarify, at this point, what is your plan for Team Combined and Super G?
Like I said, I don't know exactly. I have to see how I feel. My intention is to race everything. That's obviously my goal. I mean, I'll finish the season if I can, but I don't know. I can't tell you that until I have a downhill training run and I see how I feel. And normally in situations like this, your knee is good until it's not. I don't know when there will be a point where it's not okay anymore. I have to, really be diligent with everything that we're doing and be very strategic and systematic and calculated. So I can't take any unnecessary risk, and we'll just see how it holds up. I'll go as long and as far as I can take it.
Kirsty Stanway here from Sky Sport New Zealand. Pleasure to meet you. We love you in New Zealand. You're basically a local at Round Hill in Tekapo, so we can't wait to have you back. It's not often we have alpine skiers, but at the moment our country is someone to get behind, and we are so proud of her. What do you make of Alice Robinson?
Alice is awesome. I actually supported her through my foundation in one of her first years on the World Cup. It was actually when she won her first World Cup when she was 16? 17?
2019.
Yeah, 2019. I actually skied with her when no one knew about my comeback yet, down in Round Hill, and we skied some Super Ds together. I gave her some tips, and I guess it is working out pretty well for her, considering she's beating me in the Super G standings and won a Super G this year. So, but she's an amazing young woman, always happy, always kind, and someone that I'm really proud to know and support.
Lindsey, I'm just wondering if you can discuss a little bit more about the discussions you had with your doctors, and were they pushing you to have surgery right away, or was there any pushback? What were the discussions? I mean, usually with a torn ACL, you go into the operating room.
I mean, surgery hasn't been discussed. It's not really on my radar screen right now. The Olympics are the only thing that I'm thinking about, and, every day my knee's gotten better. And, every day we're discussing with the full medical team, doctors, physios, everyone, to make sure we're doing everything to make sure I'm making smart and safe decisions. Of course, like if my knee's not stable, I can't compete, but at the moment it is stable, and it is strong. So it's going to be an ongoing evaluation. There's, like I said, so far so good, but we have to take it day by day. But if it remains the way it is now, I think I'm pretty solid.
Lindsey, du kennst Cortina in- und auswendig. Inwiefern hilft dir das auch?
Ja, das hilft sehr viel. Ich habe 12 Mal gewonnen hier. Es war immer eine schöne Ort für mich. Diese Strecke gefällt mir ganz gut. Also ich kenne die Strecke ganz gut. Ich muss fast gar nicht Besichtigung machen. Und es gibt mir sicher sehr viel Selbstvertrauen. Wenn da ist irgendwie eine Strecke, wo ich kenne, das ist Cortina. Und deswegen bin ich hier. Und deswegen mit dieser Verletzung bin ich trotzdem, habe ich trotzdem Selbstvertrauen. Good?
Yeah.
Are you open in any weather conditions, softer snow, something that could be easier on the knee?
No, I prefer conditions that help me ski fast. I'm not looking at conditions that are better for my knee. When I stand the starting gate, I'm not going to be thinking about my knee. I'm going to be thinking about skiing fast. And I would love to have the normal Cortina, compact, amazing snow that is always here. I think we're going to have a challenge with all the snow coming, but they know how to prepare the course. And if it's anything like it always is, I'll be happy. No, it hasn't been swollen. I don't need Topfin. Do I say that? Okay. Well, I guess we have 10 more minutes, so if anyone wants to keep asking questions.
I do. One more. Just a follow-up, real quick. I was actually chatting to Canadian skier Erin Milzinski, and she was wondering, actually, just how you view your role for the U.S. team, especially coming in, obviously, with a lot of experience as a vet, but then also seeing, like, the rest of the team have, like, success as well, what that means to you.
I mean, it's been incredible to watch all these young women and race alongside them. Some of them I've known from before. You know, Jackie Wiles is one of them. I also support her through my foundation. We were on the podium several times together, including this year, which was incredible. I raced with Breezy before as well, but the others I've kind of been mentoring. Some of them I've been mentoring since I've been retired. And Allison Nolan, who's not racing here at the Olympics, but is on the World Cup Tour, I met her at my book signing when she was like 9 years old. So it's a pretty incredible experience to be racing with these women and to try to mentor them and pass along whatever advice or knowledge that I have. You know, downhill skiing is a lot about knowledge and accumulated knowledge. So I feel like I have a lot of that to pass down. It gives me pride to be able to do that. And I wouldn't say I don't feel like I'm in a leadership role. I feel like I'm in a mentorship role. I stand behind them and I try to push them forward. And I think we collectively as a team have done incredible. We're all really running on all cylinders right now. Breezy just got a 3rd place in the last Super G, and most of the racers just got a personal best in the last 2 weeks. So I think everyone as a team is working incredibly well, and they're skiing incredibly fast, and everyone's worked really hard. So yeah, it's a privilege to be on the team with them. And as soon as they get here, I'll be excited to share that with you.
Yeah, maybe we have some question from Media Zone, from remote. So.
Hi, Lindsey. We have a question from Brian Pinelli from NBC Olympics.
Hey, Brian.
You were in a similar situation at the Gap Worlds 2011, had a concussion, persevered, and won silver. Is there something you can take from that?
I mean, honestly, that was probably low on the totem pole of severity of injuries that I came back from. I'd say probably, the 2019 World Championships were the best example or closest thing to this injury that I've ever experienced. But in a lot of ways, I think 2019 was far worse than what I'm dealing with right now. So yeah, obviously I have experience dealing with it. I know how to manage myself. I know how to manage my energy and the swelling and physically what it takes to be able to push through and to persevere through these circumstances. But I don't know, concussion was just a concussion. It was fine.
And we have another one. Have you received any feedback from other skiers after your injury? And if so, what was it?
This injury? Oh, no one knows. I haven't told anyone. I like to keep my stuff, to myself. And I will say I really appreciate that everyone had patience and letting me kind of take my time to process what's happened. But today is the first day that I've really shared the news with anyone outside of my family and friends.
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah. Along the line of, back here, from Salt Lake City KSL, along the lines of your talking about mentorship, Mary Blowcock is Salt Lake City, grew up, born and raised there. Do you have any opinions on her racing?
Mary's awesome. She actually let me borrow her poles this morning. No, she's full of energy, and she has this amazing personality. She's always witty and quirky and funny, and she has a great attitude. And her results this season in Super G have been amazing. And her sister obviously is skiing so well in the technical discipline. So another very talented family from the Utah
Salt Lake area. Unfortunately, the Masugas aren't here, but, Lauren and obviously her sisters are all incredible athletes as well, and her brother. So there's a lot of talent coming out of Utah, and of course I'm a resident of Park City, and been living there on and off since 2002. So it's a great place to be, obviously with the Olympic facilities, and now that we have the Olympics in 2034, I think we're going to have a lot more athletes coming through there and hopefully developing well because of the infrastructure and facilities that we're able to provide them. Hang on to your chewing gum. My mom would always say that. No, I think enjoy the experience. Keep your eyes wide open. Try to soak it all in. This is an incredible experience, and there's a lot of pressure, but it's still just a ski race. So have fun.
Go ahead, Drew.
This is your 5th Olympics. I'm just wondering what you think about this new style of Olympics. Spread out. The men skiing in Bormio, the ice sports are in Milan. There's events all over Livigno, 5 hours away. Maybe you just got here today. I'm wondering what it feels like, and what do you think about this new idea?
I mean, I'm in Cortina, so there's really nothing to complain about. I'm very happy being here. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world, but it is sad to not be, closer to more of your teammates, not just in ski racing, but in any sport. I think from an athlete perspective, Salt Lake City was my favorite Olympics because we were all so close to each other. Almost everyone was in the Olympic Village in Salt Lake, and this is quite different. It's like I would love to go to Milan to the opening ceremonies, but it's 5 hours away. And, I know a lot of the girls were talking about wanting to watch hockey, but it's difficult. So I think they're doing an amazing job and trying to keep everything organized and running smoothly, but location of venues, you obviously can't choose that. It's geography and where the mountains are, but I think it would have been more fun if we're all closer. Yeah.
We have one more question. Time for one more question. Anyone? Yeah, go for it.
At the last race where you were injured, it seems like there were some weird comments at the start after your crash, and it looked like you commented on some of that. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that reaction to your situation?
Like right now? Or in 2019?
No, in Crans-Montana.
Oh. Yeah.
Good.
I have to say I was disappointed. I thought it was poor sportsmanship from a lot of people that I care about. Any time that athletes are injured or crash, it's not good. And when FIS or the organizers say that it's not safe to race, we as racers have to trust that. And yes, I know there are high emotions, and everyone has worked very hard to be in a position to compete in that moment. And it's sometimes hard to contain those emotions, but I was deeply hurt by what was said. And some people apologized to me, and I appreciated that, and I accepted their apology. But I think, in general, it was disappointing to hear what was said, especially on live television.